guys, welcome back. Hope y'all are doing alright. So today we're going to do Margaritaville by Jimmy Buffett, but I've arranged it in a way where we can get the vocal melody, the steel drum part, and the piano part, and kind of pass through the chords of the songs and tie everything together so the song sounds like the song if you're just playing solo. But the cool thing about this is you can also play it in a band with the singer, and you're not going to be conflicting with what the singer's doing. You're not going to be stepping all over them. Or you can just take licks here and there and sprinkle them in as you'd like. But you know, a lot of people learn this as their first song because it's so simple, right? It's just D, A, and G, and there's a D7 and an A over C sharp thrown in there. But it's really just 3 chords, and you know, it's kind of boring because you start out the song and you're strumming D major for 32 bars, and then you're strumming A major for 32 bars, and it's just like, oh my gosh. You know, and if you're not a singer, if you're not singing, if you try to play that for somebody or you're just playing it by yourself, it's not going to be that enjoyable, right? So I thought, well, how can I arrange this where we can make the song have movement, make it sing, make it sound like the song without just strumming, you know, the same chords for 32 measures straight. So what we're going to do is we're going to outline the changes, each chord change, the G, the D, and the A, and we're going to do that using thirds, sixths, double stops, and some notes out of our major and minor pentatonic scales. So I guess that's pretty much it, right? So let's just go ahead and get into the intro. Okay, so for the intro, we're going to start out just doing some double stops out of your first box of D major pentatonic. We're going to mimic that kind of steel drum piano part you hear in the intro there. You can play this on different string sets. You could play it on the B and E strings. But I'm going to play it on the G and B first because I'm going to be using the B and E strings for most of the vocal melody. So we're going to start out. Alright, so start out here on 9 on G, 8 on B. You're going to slide up 2 frets to 11 and 10 on G and B. Slide in. After you slide in, you want to kind of pulse it. Just kind of take your finger on and off. Like that, right? Just pop it twice. Then go back to 9 and 10, and then back up to 11 and 10, right? Or, sorry, what is that? 9 and 8, up to 10 and 11, right? Then after you do that twice, we're going to slide into G and B on 12. Use your pinky and ring finger. And then after you hit it twice, slide back into it. And then walk it down 11-10 G and B, 9-8 G and B, and then bar 7 on G and B. Okay, so that'll be the first part of your intro there. Then we're going to do this little lick to get us into the verse. Just hammer on 7 to 9 on A, then bar D and G on 7, hit it twice, and then slide back 9 to 7 on A, get 5 on A, then hit open A, right? So that'll be your whole intro. Okay, I'm going to hybrid pick everything. It makes it much easier to do that. It's going to be kind of hard to play some of these licks if you're not going to hybrid pick it, but just, you know, do whatever you feel comfortable playing. So then after that intro, we get into the verse, okay? Alright, so for the verse part, we're going to be doing thirds on the B and E string, and in between the vocal melody, we're going to go back to the chord and hit the chord that we're playing these little licks on, and then we're going to do another lick to kind of tie it back into the vocal melody, if that makes sense, right? So we're going to go. Alright, and that'll lead us into our next chord, A major. So if you didn't play that little lick in between, it'd be kind of boring because you wouldn't be filling in all the space, right? You would have like a. This way it just sounds a little more professional and you're filling in all the gaps and you're making the song move instead of pause, right? So we're going to start out B and E 5 and 3, slide into 7-5 B and E, pluck it twice, then then go back to 5 and 3, and then back up to 5 and 7. Then after you do that, we're going to play our first lick. Hammer on to 2 to 4 on D. Then get 2 on G, 3 on B, hybrid pick it. Then pull off 4 to 2 to open on D. Then just hit like kind of like the little power chord here. We'll have open D, G on 2nd fret, 3rd fret on the B string. Don't hit the E. You don't want that suspended sound. You don't want that. Okay, so give a little pop. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing, but we'll end differently. We'll go 5-3 B and E up to 7-5, back to 5-3 to 3 and 2 B and E. Right, so you have. Then we're going to play kind of a call and response to that lick. Right, we'll have 2-3 G and B, hybrid pick it, hammer on to 4 on G, then just hit 2 and 3 by itself, then pull off 4 to 2 to open on D, then hit that open D again and just give it a smack. Okay, so that'll be your first little vocal melody part. Then we're gonna go into A major, right? So we'll go 7-5 B and E up to 8 and 7 B and E, back to 7-5. Then I kind of slide in to 5 and 3. Then go 3-2 B and E. Okay, and after you go 3-2 B and E, we're gonna play A major. I kind of just hit mainly 7-6 D and G, but form the full chord, right? 7-6-5-5 with your thumb on 5 on the low E, right? So you'd have. So after you hit that little 7-6, give the whole chord a stab, give it a mute, then hit 7 on G and B, then bar G and B on 5, and hammer onto your major third, that's 6 on G. Then we're going to walk down, just kind of make it a little bluesy thing. We're going to pull off 7 to 5 on D. Then go 7-5 on A. Then slide in 3 to 4 on A and get 5 on the low E. And then hit the low E again with your thumb. And then we're going to give the chord a stab, right? So you'd have then you get into the strumming my 6th string. So we'll have 7 and 8 on, or I'm sorry, 9 and 8 on G and B. Kind of slide into it and then plug it, was it twice? And after you pluck that twice, go 7 on G and B. Then go back to 9-8 G and B. And then go real quickly, hit the low E, hit that A note on the 5th fret with your thumb. Then we're going to walk up chromatically these thirds into A major. Right, we'll go 5-4 D and G, hit it twice. Then hit it twice on 6 and 5 D and G. And then you land 7-6 D and G right inside of your A major triad, right? Then pop the 5th fret low E again. Then back to the little on my front porch swing. Same thing. 9 and 8 G and B. 7 G and B back to 9-8. Okay, and this time we're going to hit that low E on 5. Then we're going to play a different lick. We're going to go. we're just going to do like that kind of Jimmy thing. Just hammer on 7 to 9 on the low E, then bar A and D on 7, and do it twice. Then hit the 5th fret low E with your thumb, and get the whole chord a step, right? So you have... Alright, so that whole little part... Okay, and then the whatever covered in oil. We're just going to go 7-5 B and E. Kind of pluck it 3 times, slide into it. Then go up 7 and 8 B and E. Back to 7-5. Hit it again. Then go 5 and 3, slide into 7-5. Then go 3 on B to 2 on E. Okay? I play this differently every time I play it. Alright, so after we do that little covered in oil part, then we're going to walk into G major into the chorus, right? So after you do that third part, we're going to walk up. I'm going to slide in to 7 on D and B, and walk it down chromatically, 7, 6 to 5, and then land 4 on D and 3 on B. Then slide back into 4, 3 D and B, pluck it twice. Then go 5 D and B, pluck that twice. Then slide off a D and B on 7. Then slide in with your thumb to the low E on 3, and we'll hit our full G major chord. 5, 4, 3, 3, D, G, B, and E. Okay, then I'll slide straight from where my middle finger's at on 4 on G. I'll slide into 7 on G and E and pick it back and forth. Then we'll go 6, 5, G and E. And then I'll have 4, 3, G and E. Sometimes I slide into it, sometimes I don't. And then we're going to go 4, 3, G and E to 2 G and E twice. Then we're going to hit 2 on G and 3 on B, pick and finger, alright? Then we're going to go, so just slide into 7 on D and B. You can slide in 5 to 7 if you want. Then walk back to 5 on D and B. Then 4, 3 D and B. Then walk back up, slide into 4, 3 and walk it up 5 to 7. Then slide into 3 on the low E. This time we're not going to hit the chord because we got to go right into that lost shaker assault. So we'll have... So after you hit that 3 on low E, go 7 G and E, pick that back and forth. Then go 6, 5 G and E. Slide back into it. Pluck it again. Then go 6, 5 G and E to 7 G and E. Then slide in 5 to 7 on D and B, alright? Then walk down that chromatic line again. 7, 6, 5 D and B. Then walk back up 4, 3, 5 to 7 on D and B. Now we'll hit low E with our thumb again. Strum the full G, 5, 4, 3, 3. This would be the some people say that there's a woman to blame. Now I'll just slide in from 4 to 7 on the G string, but you could slide in straight from 5 to G and E, but then you wouldn't have this chord ringing out as long. Alright, so we'll go, I'll just call it GE 5 to 7, pluck it twice, then go up to 9 on G and E and slide off. Then after you go 9 on G and E, go 6-5 G and E, then 7-9 G and E, then go 11-10 G and E and slide off of it, then 6-5 G and E, slide off, then go 2 G and E to 4-3 G and E. Alright, so we have and then I'll just hit it 3 times for And I Know. And then we'll slide in 8-7, 8-7 B and E, 7-5 B and E to 3-5 B and E. And then it's Nobody's Fault. I'll give you a couple ways you could play this. I think I played it like this. What I meant to do was go, so you could play D and B 5 to 7, slide in, go back to 5 to 4-3 D and B, and then go 5 D and B back to 4-3. Where is it? Then go 5-7 B and E, 5-3 to 3-2, right? Then we'll do that little D major lick. Hammer on 2 to 4 on D, 2 and 3 on G and B, then pull off 4 to 2 on D, hit the open D, then 2 G and 3 B. Alright, and that'll be your little chorus part. So let's play through all that really slow, okay? We'll have okay, so after you play that little D major lick, then we get into basically kind of a variation of the intro, and then it goes into this bridge part where we kind of walk up from G to A to D. So we're gonna have so we start out a little differently. We're going to bar G and B on 7 and hammer on, slide in. So hammer on to 9-8 from 7 and slide into 11-10 G and B. Hit it twice. Then go from 9-8 to 11-10. Then we'll do this little lick. Or I'll go, yeah, I'll hammer on 7 to 9 on A. Hit 7 on D and G barred twice, then slide back 9 to 7, get 5 on A, then open A. You can hit the open A or open D, they both sound good either time, right? Then this time, same lick, but we finish differently. So bar 7 G and B, hammer on to 9-8 G and B, 11-10, pulse it twice, then go 9-8 to 7 on G and B. Then we'll do a variation of that same lick. Bar D, G7, hammer on to 9 on D, get 7 D and G, then slide back 9 to 7 on A and get 5 on A to open A, okay? Then we're going to walk up to the 12th fret, lead into A, So bar GB7, hammer on to 9/8 GB, 11/10, pulse it twice, hit 12 on G and B, go back to 11/10, you're just going to hit the 12th fret once, then I'm going to slide into 9/8 GB, get 7 G and B, then we hit our A major chord, 7/6/5/5. Then we're going to do the same lick twice. Just bar G and B on 7 with your ring finger, kind of do an upstroke. Then bar GB on 5, hammer on to 6 on G to your major third. Get 7 on D. Then just kind of change the phrasing, hit the same bar again. Okay, then we're going to walk out this cool little thing from G major to A major to D major, right out of these 3 triads, right? We're going to go. So we're going to hybrid pick it. Pick on G, middle ring finger B and E, and have 7, 8, 7. So, okay, so you're going to go. You're just going to pluck it once on the B and E and pick it twice on G on 7. And then finish it by doing just one of each. Then take the same shape up 2 frets to A major, do the same pattern. Alright, and then from here, we're going to slide into 12 on D, get 11 on G, pop 10 on B and E, hybrid pick. Then hammer on to 12 on B while barring B and E on 10. Then I'm going to have 12 on G with my ring finger, 11 on G with my middle finger. I'm going to hit the B and G together and pull off 12 to 11 on G. And then hit D on 12 and just kind of let the D and G ring out together. And then you just kind of give it like 2 quarter notes and like an 1/8 note. It's kind of a mute, right? So you'd have okay, then we walk it back down. 8/7 B and E to 7/5 to 3/5. Then we do our little 6 out of D major here. Slide in DB 5 to 7, back to 5, 4/3, back to 5, back to 4/3. Then go 5/7 BE, 3/5 BE, 3/2 B and E. And we'll just finish it with that same kind of D major lick. Okay, hammer on 2 to 4 on D. And after you hammer on 2 to 4 on D, pop 2, 3 G and B, hybrid pick it. Then pull off 4, 2 to open on D. And then we'll finish it with this D major triad. Open D, 7 on G and B, 5 on the high E, right? So that'll be your little ending there. Alright, so that's everything you need to play the song. Man, it's a cool song. Kind of boring if you're just strumming. You know, like I said, it's 32 bars of D, 32 bars of A, and it really doesn't start changing chords frequently until you get to the chorus. But you can take anything out of here and use it. Like I said, it's all going to sound good if you're playing in a band, playing it exactly as it is with a singer. You're not going to step on the singer very much. But just take some licks and just kind of add them in, throw them in wherever you want. It really helps tie the song together and just give it kind of more of like a fuller sound, you know, especially if you're just playing it with like a bass and a guitar player. If you don't have a piano player, you can kind of add in those steel drums and piano lines, and it just helps fatten up the song with like a 4-piece band. But that's everything, man. Hope you enjoy it. Just practice slow, have fun. I'll see you next time.